Working with buyers in the post-NAR settlement age has created a lot of uncertainty for buyers and agents alike. Are you an agent who's feeling uncertainty around the buyer brokerage agreement and how to present it to your clients? Are you nervous about the compensation no longer being displayed in the MLS? And are you nervous about how you show value to your buyers so that you ensure that they want to work with you and commit to you through that buyer brokerage agreement? If you are, this video is for you. Today, I'm going to be sharing 5 actionable strategies that will not only reduce stress for your buyers, but will also reduce stress for you and bring clarity and a smoother transaction to the table. If that's something you're interested in, be sure to stick around. My name is Amanda, and I'm a real estate agent here in Northern Virginia. I've been in real estate well over 15 years, and this channel is all about growing your real estate business without ever making a cold call or knocking on a random door. If that's something that interests you, be sure to hit that subscribe button. I release a new video every single week. Step 1 is communication and confidence. And these two go hand in hand because when you are meeting with a prospective buyer, they should walk away from that meeting knowing that they are in the most competent hands and they should feel less stressed about moving forward with their home search. And there's a couple ways that you can accomplish this, even if you're a brand new agent. You want to make sure that you are setting expectations on communication. What hours are you available? When can they expect to hear updates from you? When can they expect to receive property updates for new listings from you? Will you be working to source off-market properties for them if you are operating in a low inventory market? It really depends on what's happening in your market, how frequently you're going to be in touch with your buyers. But having that groundwork laid ahead of time is what's going to take a little bit of stress off of them because they know what to expect throughout the process and that they have you to lean on. You want to guide your buyers through the entire process, and I like to call it being their shock absorber. Buying a home is stressful. It's not something the majority of the population does on a daily basis. And that's where we as agents really come in and can shine because it is something we do on at least a weekly or monthly basis, most likely. Even if you're a brand new agent, you're going to be ramping up to where you are consistently selling homes. And it's our job to know what's going on, when it's going on, and keep our buyers updated throughout the process. The other thing that you should be doing when you are having that initial buyer consultation, and this is step 2, is removing the buyer's fears around the buyer brokerage agreement. In Virginia, there has been a buyer brokerage agreement for as long as I have been in real estate. So this is not something that changed for me. And I promise you, if you're practicing this on a regular basis, which now you legally have to, it's not going to be an issue. If you have concerns or if your buyers are a little nervous operating in this new world, which it is new for a lot of agents and for buyers, then offer them what I call a trial period on the buyer brokerage agreement. That shows that you are essentially willing to put your money where your mouth is and say, listen, I have to get this form signed. It's a requirement. It's not my requirement. It's required by NAR. And I'm willing to show you houses for the next 3 days, the next 14 days, whatever your trial period is that you're comfortable with, to let them know that you want to give them a window of opportunity to get to know you, you to get to know them, to make sure that this is going to be a good long-term fit. And what that says is you are confident enough in your skills to say, hey, I don't need to lock you into some long-term agreement. I respect that you are a little nervous and have some fear around this. And here's a shorter term trial period for us to see if this is going to be a good fit moving forward. Additionally, you can consider an opt-out clause as a part of the agreement where they can simply cancel as long as they give you notice. That would be the end of the agreement and everybody goes their separate ways. And this also builds confidence. I find in most cases, most buyers are completely comfortable with a trial period if they're not comfortable signing on for a longer period of time. But offering that opt-out clause also shows that they can trust you. You're not trying to lock them into anything. You're just adhering and making sure you're following the rules that you have to follow. And then in return, there's no risk on their end. Worst case scenario, they cancel the agreement. Maybe you showed them a few homes. Hopefully you didn't show them too many homes for months on end. And if nothing else, they won't have anything negative to say about you because you simply let them out of an agreement with no strings attached. Step 3 is make it easy for your buyers to ask questions. And a lot of buyers hesitate to ask a question because they think it's silly, small, or maybe just something that they shouldn't be asking. And there's a couple ways that I like to accomplish this. I have a frequently asked question sheet that I provide to my buyers prior to us even having our initial consultation. And then during the consultation, I like to find out how they prefer to communicate. I'm always happy to communicate however they prefer it. I do ask if they like to talk by phone that it's typically best to send me a text first so that we can coordinate on a time. That way, as agents, when we're running around so much, we aren't playing phone tag with our clients. But opening that door for them to choose how they prefer to communicate also takes their guard down and lets them know that you are a safe space. It's okay to come to you with any type of question. And I actually like to come right out and say that to my buyers. It will be so much scarier if they are just tossing all of these questions around in their head and there's a lot of unknowns for them than if they would just say, hey, Amanda, I've got a question for you, or I've got a few questions. Let me know when you can connect. Then I can take that unknown away from them. And as humans, unknowns are scary. It's the same thing for us. If we're doing something new that we're just really unsure of, we're going to have a lot of questions and we want to feel like the person that we are going to is happy to answer them, not going to make us feel dumb, and that they're always there to support us. So you want to create an environment where your buyers feel comfortable coming to you. The other thing that I find in terms of making buyers feel comfortable is letting them know what the next steps are. And this is actually my next recommendation, to always communicate next steps. I start out by giving my buyers what I call my home buyer game plan, and we do that early on in the process after I have a consultation with them. But then as the process goes on, I have updates regularly for them. There are updates when they're in the portion of searching for a home. There are updates as soon as they go under contract and what they need to do from there. And then once they're under contract and going through the loan process, there are more updates. There is no way you can over communicate with your buyers unless you're sending them like 10 or 15 emails a day. You want to have that process set up so that one, it's on autopilot for you and you aren't continually having to write out the same emails with next steps over and over again. But two, so that it's set up at a pace that the buyers are never wondering what's happening next. This will also help you because then they're not going to be reaching out as much saying, hey, what do I need to do next? Hey, am I missing anything? So it keeps everybody happier because it's a lower stress environment and nobody's wondering what's going to be happening next. Step 4 is showing versus just telling. And this is where my home buyer game plan comes in. It's really just a home buyer brochure, home buyer guide, but I think both of those are super boring and played out. So I call mine a home buyer game plan. What matters most is that you have something tangible that they are going to be able to go through. And I don't mean you need a physical printed copy, although that's fine too. But to be able to send them something that then when you have your consultation, you can go through and show them exactly how this is going to play out. And within that, you are going to want to share that you are a resource. You have lenders that they can contact. You have title companies they can contact, appraisers, tradesmen, home inspectors. There are so many different hands that touch a real estate transaction, and a great way that you can stand out and provide value as a buyer's agent is to be a resource. You want to be an encyclopedia of tradesmen so that your buyers are never having to do their own research if they don't want to. You should be able to provide them with any type of resource that they need throughout the home buying process. What's going to help with that is if you have this game plan laid out for them, you can go through it during your consultation. I like to send it to them beforehand so they've at least seen it, but then you can go through it with them. And within that game plan, I also like to show examples of other clients that I've helped. I have permission from quite a few clients to use their photos, but if you don't have that, no worries. You can still share their story, change their names, and you'll be good to go. It's so much more powerful when you can tell a story and give an actual example versus just being able to say, oh, this is exactly what I'm going to do for you. You want to be able to show them that you've done this other times in the past and you are the best agent to help them purchase their new home. If you're brand new and you've never sold a home before, don't worry. You can rely on your brokerage stats to tell a story to your future buyers. The last step is listening to what your buyers are looking for and then showing them examples so that you're able to get their feedback. And the way that I like to do this is on my Zoom consultation with my buyers is at the end of the call, jump right into the MLS with them and say, based on what you shared with me today and what you filled out in your home buyer questionnaire, this is what I am envisioning, and showing them some sample listings. And the reason I do this is a lot of buyers think they want one thing and communicate that, but when then they actually see it, they really want something different. And this can help save you time and create efficiency in the process in general. Because when you're on the Zoom call and you pick out a couple listings, I actually like to have these teed up before I'm even on the call because that saves time. Then you can just scroll through the pictures fairly quickly and say, tell me what you think about this house. And it's not that they're going to know if it's the right house or not. That's not the point. The point is to confirm that what they have just told you about what they're looking for is really what they're looking for. Because as we all know, if you've worked for buyers for any amount of time, sometimes we start here and we end up way over here because they actually really didn't know exactly what they were looking for. And listening to what they're saying and then showing them can help you save a lot of time. By implementing these strategies, you're not only going to build trust, but you're also going to help your buyers feel at ease. And you're going to be building confidence within yourself because this is going to be your buyer process. It's like working out. The more reps you put in, the stronger you get. And that is the exact same thing when it comes to working with buyers in the post-NAR settlement world. I hope you got some value from today's video. If you did, please consider hitting that like button. And if you have any questions, please drop them in the comments below. Until I see you on the next one, thanks for watching.